Austin. August Raber is next up from Finn McLaughlin. Then it is Martin Molnar, Ethan Jeffel for Argenti, Jimmy Pezik wrapping up the top 12. That's the reverse part of the grid. Then Chase Fernandez and Leo Robinson, who won here at this meeting last year. Henry Mercier next up, rookie podium for him yesterday. Yu Hao Fu, Charlie Edge, Cole Hewitson. Esme Kosterman, who joins the championship, is next up. And then another newcomer, Peter Orofowski. So we welcome Peter to the grid, the English-based Polish driver. We had a really great weekend at Donington Park to open this up. So it's been a very quick turnaround for the Wera Tools F4 British Championship, certified by FIA. Remember, this is part of the ladder to Formula One. And I know a few years ago people rolled their eyes when we said that, but it's a genuine thing now. If you look back at the drivers, we've got a driver from 7 years ago leading the Formula One Championship now. Oscar Piastri, not Oscar Pistorius, as my son always reminds me I used to say, but Oscar Piastri. Well done, Oscar, which is great. Obviously, it is a real proper stepping stone into F1, and so many great drivers. You look at it, some of them, by their own admission, will be maybe looking to go into other spheres of motorsport. They might not have the budget. They probably. That's not saying that they're conceding defeat about careers, but they will go on to other levels. But we still nonetheless have lots of drivers. You know, I look at this and there are drivers here who are going to be well capable of getting into F1, Andy.
No, absolutely so. And the quality we've got on the grid this season is really being reflected in the competitive nature of the racing. You were filling me in on some of the goings on from Donington Park ago, the season opener. 3 very entertaining races, 3 different race winners, and the strength in depth in the field is perhaps the most exciting thing really. It's 2025, more teams now starting to find their competitive edge as well. And as I was saying when you first came into the commentary box, I think the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit is the perfect place for these cars to really stretch their legs. Yesterday's race by all accounts was very entertaining. Now with the reversed grid, partially reversed grid for race 2, I think we're guaranteed even more of that, because this is one of those circuits where the quick drivers, buried at the back end of the top 10 on the grid, can actually make some progress.
Yeah, it's going to throw the point situation right out the window. Yesterday's first race did. Just by way of example, there is, I believe, still a judicial hanging over Donington race 3, but given the way we left it and the way it was, we had Tommy Harfield, who was leading the championship. Tommy had a DNF yesterday, so he's not leading the championship anymore. But we have 5 different teams in the top 5 positions on the chart. And I can't remember the last time we had that in British F4. I'm sure there are plenty of statos who'll be able to fill us in and tell us when that was the case. But it's so good. We've got Argenti leading, August Raber, the Swede, leading the championship at the moment. Fion, we call him Fion or Finn, if you look at social media. He said, everybody calls me Finn, but I've always called him Fion, and he said that's fine. So if anyone wants to tell me off for pronouncing it wrong, I have got the permission of the great man himself to do that. Jimmy Pezik, Fion is with High Tech, by the way. Then we've got Rhodes in third of our 5 teams, with Jimmy Pezik, who won yesterday's race, the first double winner in the championship this year. Martin Molnar is 4th, last year's rookie champion. He races for Virtuosi. Tommy Harfield is 5th in the standings, and he's with Chris Dittman Racing. And it's the first time when we left Donington that Chris Dittman Racing have led the F4 British Championship table, which was mega for Chris. We know the team are capable of it, and Tommy Harfield is racing in, at the moment, a partial season. So he's racing what we call the F4 Challenge. You nominate 7 events, he's nominated the first 7. He's hoping to get the budget to do the remaining 3 rounds, and he'll drop out of the challenge. So we're looking forward to seeing what Tommy can do. We just saw Charlie Edge going out of picture. There in the 33 car is the young South African driver Cole Hewitson, racing with XL Motorsport. Started with 1 car last year, graduated to 2, and now a full team of 4. Very, very competitive team. Expect to see them get a first win this year. As we look at the grid, though, Xavier Avramides is there on pole position, running with High Tech. Hasn't managed to make it into the top 10 in terms of a finish just yet, but a great opportunity here as he starts on the front row of the grid, as did Joel Bergstrom at Donington on the front row. So Joel hoping for better luck starting from there. So Avramides and Bergstrom on the front row of the grid. Lights are out, and we are now F4 racing for the first time this weekend. Avramides makes a very good start indeed. Swings around. Looks like Bergstrom has got hung out to dry a little bit. Adam Alazari goes up into P2 as they go around turn 1. Keep your eyes on track limits there. Always a little bit of a bugbear. More so last weekend. The timing screen lit up and we have plenty of it. But Alizari's done well. Look at that, 3 wide there. Tommy Harfield getting stuck in, and he's going well. We've got 2 cars going wide. They will rejoin safely. I don't think any advantages gained there. Pretty frenetic start, and of course we have got the faster drivers, Andy, starting 12th, 11th, 10th and so on, all looking to make up places at this early stage.
Yeah, and they'll want to do so quickly before the leaders get away. The leaders, though, are side by side and almost 3 abreast as we head towards Stowe Corner for the first time. Avramides defending the inside line. I think that is Alizari, as you said, into second place. Tommy Harfield there nipping up the inside of Thomas Behrman. Thomas was one of the drivers who got squeezed out onto the runoff area down at Beckett. Big move up the inside. Meanwhile, in fact, it's all changed at the front of the field. Down at the club chicane, always a hot spot for action, and that brings the whole pack back together.
It does. Alizari now in front, and we've got some good BRSCC references in this championship as well. Thomas Behrman, believe it or not, he stand raced in the BRSCC Porsches a few seasons ago, a good few years ago. Now, of course, very much enjoying both of his sons racing at various levels. And Tommy Harfield, who was in the Fiesta Junior Championship last year. So great to have F4 with us at this BRSCC meeting, and a couple of drivers with roots in BRSCC Championships too.
Indeed so. So Alizari leads. I think that is Rowan Campbell-Pilling maybe up to second position now. We'll double check this on the timing screen at the end of the lap. It's been a very frenetic opening lap, as you would expect. All of our 4 race winners that we've had, 3 race winners we've had so far this season, starting towards the back, or indeed out of the top 10. 1 car on the grass down the Wellington straight. There was just about room there up the inside line, but then someone else sweeps right around the outside. This is the great thing about the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. There's all this space for them to use, and that was like yesterday's winner, Pesic, from 12th on the grid, well into the top 10 already, and that helped him. A good move around the outside of Brooklands.
Yeah, Chase Fernandez in the Wera Tools car, that he went round the outside. Chase, former Ginetta Scholarship winner, he was the driver that took the most wins in the Ginetta Junior Championship last year, was ultimately runner-up in that championship to Ethan Jeff Hall, who starts a little bit further back as well, so Ethan in the mix as well. But yeah, Jimmy Pesic, it's been that everyone who's been saying Carlin or Rodin, as they are now, had gone off the boil. Not really the thing to say, because they have been in very strong positions in the championship. They were just beaten by iTech last year, but Jimmy Pesic has brought them back into that top notch of F4 racing for the moment, so he's looking to add. But also Adam Alizari, who is there, is leading this one, so we could have a second different Rodin winner potentially here. And you're right, good spot about Adam Campbell-Pilling in P2.
Alizari yet to finish on the podium this season, so he's certainly setting his stall out to change that this morning. Campbell-Pilling up into second place, as we said. This is the great thing about the reverse grid race. It gives drivers an opportunity to have their moments in the spotlight, and because of the strength in depth in this actually, the drivers finishing at the back of the top 10 give them clean air at the front of the grid, and they've got every chance of hanging on to that track position. So Alizari, Campbell-Pilling and Harfield the top 3, pole sitter Avramides 4th, Behrman 5th, so Behrman still gained a place on that opening lap. The biggest mover, though, really was Finn McLaughlin to 6th position, and he's in the middle now, this battle pack heading towards the loop. Is there a chance up the inside? Yes, there is, into the loop. The door might well be closed in his face, though. I don't think he's going to get the move made just yet, but that is one of the better overtaking opportunities on the circuit, and the man who has yet to win this year, who's had 3 second-place finishes, Finn McLaughlin, wants to put that right here at Silverstone.
Fion.
Oh, Fion, indeed. Whichever you prefer.
Here he goes, he's having a look. So the 2 teammates go side by side, different liveries. The Red Bull Junior driver, though, getting stuck in. There was almost a little bit of contact. There is contact with Thomas Behrman, and off goes Phil McLaughlin. There are no drop scores in this championship, but look at the recovery. Very quick recovery. Lesser driver might have banged the steering wheel and not come on as quickly, but Phil McLaughlin, very quick recovery. That could be key at the end of the season.
Yeah, how crucial could that be when we get to the last round of the championship? That was unfortunate, wasn't it? McLaughlin got to the inside, they banged wheels at Brooklands, and Behrman just didn't want to relinquish the place into Luffield. Hard racing, but that's what you'd expect from 2 of the top youngsters in the championship, who did battle over in Europe in the Formula Winter Series at the start of the season. They were both competitive, both of them fighting for race wins, and will certainly have come into this championship in 2025 expecting to be contesting for a championship there, but I think got away with that without any major delay. And the same, unfortunately, can't be said for Fion McLaughlin. He took his way at least out to the gravel track. Down towards Stowe we go, though. Battle's continuing, Richard.
Yeah, they are, and that's August Raber, the championship leader, having a look at Henry Jocelyn in the Fortec car. Fortec in their traditional white and red colours, and Raber, who, as I say, I was working the points out after yesterday's race, made a complete hash of it, and then went on and looked at TSL, who very kindly do it all for you. Raber is the man who leads the championship at the moment, but he's now starting to come under a little bit of pressure himself from Jimmy Pezik, who's trying to close up. And you can see how frenetic this is. This is why the partial reverse works. F4, going back to this last year, the year before, we had the whole grid reverse, which potentially can cause a few issues. It didn't cause any big ones. That lock up there from Chase Fernandez, having a look down the inside. Doesn't quite work for him. Rowan Campbell-Pilling, though, fastest driver on track on the first flying lap. So Rowan trying to close in on Adam Al-Hazari out front. Are we going to get another winner? I would love it there to be another winner. As I say, we've had 4 different winners in 3 races so far. As this battle continues to come down into Brooklyn, so Jocelyn has got the better of this at the moment. So Henry Jocelyn, who was double pole at Donington Park, just hasn't been able to replicate the form in this one. Ethan Jeff Hall there in the 25 car getting stuck in as well. As we go back to 47, August Raver involved as well. It is, and very good to say, a job to know where to look. That's how competitive the championship is right now.
Oh, Raver around the outside at Copse Corner. That's a brave move, but I think it's going to work. So another place gain then for Raver, who is marching through from 8th on the grid into the top half dozen. I reckon now they head through the Magnus-Beckett sequence for the 3rd time of Astic. We are about a third of the way through the race. The lead gap, by the way, under half a second. So Al-Azhari and Campbell-Pilling are getting away from the rest of the field, but not really separating from each other. And this midfield battle has been absolutely ferocious. You can see here, perfect camera angle to demonstrate that slipstream effect down the hanger straight. They want to use it to make a move into Stowe. Not this time. Ethan Jeff Hall there with his former Ginetta Junior teammate, of course, Chase Fernandez behind him. Those 2 teammates at our racing last year.
At the tail end of the season.
Towards the end of the season, yes. And they are once again sharing the same bit of racetrack here at Silverstone. Fernandez, the one on the attack, he looks maybe a bit quicker at this stage.
Yeah, this is great stuff from these drivers. Interestingly, fastest lap Tommy Harfield now on the 3rd lap. So Harfield in 3rd place. So we've got a good podium battle going on. Yesterday we did have Fionn McLaughlin on outright podium and rookie win. In fact, he's been unbeaten in the rookies so far. This might be the race that sees that undone, because Thomas Behrman is the top rookie at the moment, some way clear of Avramides' 2nd position in the rookies. And the 3rd rookie is Henry Mercier. So what's happened to McLaughlin? He is well down at the moment in 18th place. So again, looks like another potential rookie podium here for Mercier, who's that little bit far back, running with Argenti. Need to apologise for him. I think I called him as a Fortec driver up to the podium yesterday, so my apologies to him and both teams, but righted that wrong now anyway.
Yes, I think they'll forgive you, Richard. Yeah, that's a shame for Fionn McLaughlin, isn't it, losing all of that ground with the off at Luffield earlier on, of course. Leaders then have come across the timing line again towards half-race distance. Now things just starting to settle down ever so slightly. 6 there of Leo Robinson, started 14th on the grid, Robinson, so Leo's made up a couple of positions from where he started. So they round Copse Corner, 22 also in this very, very long line of cars. That's your Bergstrom, so Bergstrom sort of went backwards, hasn't he, slightly from the grid. Particularly thrilled with the way the race is going, under pressure then from the number 6 machine. Around that fabulous sequence of corners at Maggots and Beckett's. This is the lead group, meanwhile, and as I said, Richard, not a huge amount of real estate between them, even at this point.
No, there isn't, and that is the beauty of the partial reverse grid. It is going to shake the points up. Remember, we've got the fastest off the front race to wrap things up a little bit later on in the day, and it will be Jimmy Pezik who starts from pole position for that one. So Jimmy P, who I thought was going to be leading the championship after yesterday, as I say, got the sums not quite right there, but he's going to be delighted to see that his teammate has the pace here, with his teammate Alan Al-Azhari leading from Rowan Campbell-Pilling. Rowan was frustrated with his qualifying, probably the most frustrated of all the drivers I spoke to at Donington, and looks a little bit unhappy again yesterday. But this is the opportunity to put that behind you. I remember having conversations with Deegan Fairclough when he had 2 years ago a very disappointing qualifying at Knockhill. His head was on the floor, it really was. I said, mate, you just got to take it, move on, you know, draw a line under it, go out and win the reverse grid race. I want to win the overall race. I know you do, but you know, that's what he did. And of course, last year came back and fairly dominated the championship. So, and Deegan was here yesterday. I don't know if he's here today, but I suspect he might be coaching with High Tech.
Well, what a talent he is as well. Deacon Fairclough, everything he touches, he seems to turn to gold. So very interested to see what the future holds for him. Leah Robinson, meanwhile, busy defending here still as they head around Brooklands corner into the final part of the lap. It's number 24 car, Martin Molnar behind him. So Molnar started 10th on the grid, Robinson 14th. So Leo moving forward slightly, but now struggling to gain any further ground. He's forcing a defensive line though out of car ahead. In fact, that's Robinson defending, excuse me. Molnar on the attack into Copse corner. So Robinson, yeah, having gained some ground, now watching his mirrors more than he's focusing on what's going on ahead of him. This is the battle for 11th place at the moment. As soon as you start defending around here, you lose so much momentum. It's very, very easy to start losing chunks of time. Gap 7/10 of a second. Fastest lap though, interestingly, Richard, set by the championship leader, Augsburger Araber, 6th position, chasing down now Henry Jocelyn in 5th, and that fastest lap of the race shows that in clean air he's got the same sort of pace that you'd expect from the championship leader, I suppose, and may be able to break into that top 5.
Yeah, August Raber, race winner at Donington, and yeah, this is probably for me, I know I seem to say it every year, it's one of the most open, I didn't say it last year, one of the most open years. It's certainly on the evidence from the first round. You know, you've got so many drivers in the mix and in with a shout, and I don't think we're going to start to get a pattern until maybe 3-4 events in, you know, by which time we've got other new drivers coming in as well, because we've got a couple of drivers that aren't of age to race that will come in at various points as well, which is good. Probably need to give a shout out to the drivers that are racing in the F1 Academy. Ella Lloyd, Elba Larson, both out there, and of course Chloe Chong from last year racing in Academy. We wish them well. They are, some people have said that the challenge trophy for the 7 rounds that count is for those drivers that may be off doing Academy, but of course it does work as well for the likes of Charlie Edge, and also Tommy Harfield is in P3 at the moment. If they want to do a slightly limited campaign. Won't be our main focus, but it will be something for them to maybe aim for their sponsors as we continue to watch August Raber. Fastest man, as Andy McEwen said, on this one at the moment, he is in P6. Less points in the reverse grid race finishing up the front, but you do get additional points for every place gained from your starting position.
Yes, so Raber so far has actually only gained 2. I think he might have lost a place or 2 at the start, because I'm sure we've seen him overtake more than 2 drivers. Might be about to make that a 3rd though, as he closes in ever further on Henry Jocelyn. In fact, that was another fastest lap, so improved upon his previous effort there, did Raber, and now is within half a second of Jocelyn, who is within 3/4 of a second of Berman. So that battle for 4th position really is a 3-way fight, and it's also these 3 cars battling over the race lead. Alazari, Campbell Pilling and Harfield, the leading 3. So they're sort of splitting into trios at the moment. There is the 4th place man, Thomas Behrman. Oh, and a bit of a wheel on the dirt was that there for Henry Jocelyn, turning into Stowe, the middle car in that group. Yes, he's wide of the apex. The car snapped sideways, turning into the corner, and he almost lost it completely as they turned into the quick right-hander at the end of the hanger straight. Now, what a modification on my timing screen here, Richard. We're going safety car potentially.
Yeah, me too. I don't see why. It's a big circuit to cover, isn't it, every eventuality, so we may well pick up on what that is, but we've only got 6 minutes to go, so this is kind of giving us a playoff scenario, isn't it? You know, not that things weren't close at the front, they were, but they're going to be even closer now.
Oh, there's the reason. 22 car stationary. I think that's between the Village and Lukewarm. It's actually on Bergstrom. Well, this race has really unravelled, hasn't it? Having started on the front row of the grid, and Joel Bergstrom now going no further, unfortunately. So the car stationary just on the entry to the loop. That's clearly a dangerous position. And so the safety car scrambled so that the marshals can help to get that car out of the way. As Richard quite rightly says, though, we're into the final 6 minutes of racing now. So it's going to be a very short shootout. I'm fairly confident they'll get that car out of the way within a lap behind the safety car. There is the safety car awaiting the field on the exit of Copse Corner. But even so, a lap behind the safety car is going to be in excess of 3.5 minutes, you would imagine. Might leave us with a 1-lap dash to the checkered flag, which could be very entertaining indeed. Gives the drivers, though, an opportunity to cool the tyres down, to catch their breath as well. It's a reasonably warm morning, and in a high downforce single-seater such as these, Richard, this is a fairly physically demanding circuit. All of those medium and high-speed corners, lots of changes of direction, so the drivers will be fairly grateful for a chance to catch their breath, but those who were hoping to make another overtake or 2 before the checkered flag, actually this isn't really the best news. Like you said, they were already pretty close to each other. And the safety car just gives everyone a chance to sort of reset for what could be a very frenetic final lap of the race.
Yeah, we saw the bun fight off the original start, didn't we? The drivers looking to make their way through, and the likes of Tommy Harfield, who sits back there in third position in the CDR car, will be keen. So too, though, will Adam Alazari, who's got the lead, who wants to hang on to it. Rowan Campbell-Billing will want to do the same in P2. Rowan, one of last year's rookies, extremely, one of the drivers that's really visible in terms of social media, does absolutely loads around his home city of Sheffield, and was visible over the winter. And probably, I've got to say, the work that he does, he's actually coming doing some esports commentary with us soon, as is Chase Fernandez. So we have two drivers that they're going to be doing a little bit of that. But they're drivers that, you know, bound up to you in the paddock. Well, not necessarily bound up to you, but do come up and ask you how you are, and if they've got a story, they'll impart it. And that's what we really need from the youngsters. But yeah, Rowan, very visible, social media, and you get that impression that he's going to go a lot further up the ladder.
And that's what you like to see. I think we sort of expected of this generation, don't we, the teenagers of today, to have a real handle on social media. They certainly understand the importance of being present on social media, being visible. But there's a difference, I think, between being on social media and actually engaging with people on social media, and it's the content you're putting out,
point,
isn't it?
yeah.
You've got to have the right personality, you've got to know how to sell yourself, and just turning up and going through the motions isn't really going to cut it, is it? So yeah, I've seen a bit of Rowan stuff, and it's the enthusiasm he's got is evident through all of the stuff that he's posting. So it's not just being posted for the sake of it, he's actually letting us into his world, letting us know who he is, and that, for a sponsor, is exactly what they want if they're looking for a driver to take on further up the ranks.
He was great last year as well. We were at the touring car weekend. Obviously the F4 are with us on touring car weekends, and they weren't at Croft last year, but it was his home round, and he came along and he was supporting some of his friends in other categories and did a track walk with us in the morning. Didn't have to, just a nice social thing to do. Chatted to a load of marshals, and that was probably one of the best natters I've had with him. We got into all sorts of things, music, the world, we put the world to rights. Really, really good. But he's a great lad, and yeah, good to see him up on a podium position here. You'd love it in an ideal world, every driver would get a podium at some point, but he's going to feel this is a good shout to maybe get the overall win. But Adam Alazari is the driver that can control this one. He's in the box seat, really. Tommy Harfield down there. Thomas Behrman will be keen as well. Made his debut here on the national circuit towards the end of last year. Haven't mentioned the rookie runners running with the yellow backgrounds to their numbers. That means that they've only done a limited number of car races, or no car races at all coming into this season. And I think it's something like, is it 3 races or 3 meetings, something like that you're allowed to do, or 2 meetings, 3 races at each, to go for the rookie title, which, as I say, was looking very much in the hands of Fionn McLaughlin, who actually now is right behind Henry Mercier down in 15th, 14th place. As we go green again, so we're racing again. Let's focus on the restart, come back to rookies a little bit later on. Al-Hazari does it well. Rowan Campbell-Billing in P2 is getting the attentions of Tommy Harfield in 3rd place, so Harfield looks like he started well, and Rowan probably could have done without young Tommy right behind him as well, because he's got to defend that P2 rather than chase for P1. So it's as you were. Behrman's still there in 4th place. Henry Jocelyn there in the white-red car in 5th position. August Raber in P6. Okay, to watch it, nothing's changed, but really they've executed that restart well.
Yes, and Rowan Campbell-Billing executed Beckett's very well. Look how he's gapped now Harfield, who, you're absolutely right, was right on his gearbox through Copse. By the time we get to Stowe, though, the gap between the leading two is smaller than it is 2nd to 3rd. A moment, though, maybe for Campbell-Billing in the dirty air as he turned into Stowe. The tyres will have lost a bit of temperature and pressure behind the safety car, and I don't think he had quite the grip available to him then that he was expecting. I expect a checkered flag at the end of this lap, by the way, Richard, so I think we're only half an hour, flag, not quite. Ethan Jeff Hall there nipping up the inside, I think, to gain a place at the chicane. The Williams then barrel down the Lewis Hamilton straight into Abbey Corner. Has our race leader Adam Alazari done enough here to hang on to a maiden victory?
Well, it's going to be a little bit of history, isn't it, if he can take it. So Adam will be keen, reverse grid or otherwise. You know, you take the wins when they come, and he's done a super job of getting away. Remember, he had to fend off Joel Bergstrom off the start. He's had a restart to deal with as well. He's had a little bit of attention from Rowan Campbell-Billing in P2. I'm talking like the race is over. It isn't over yet. Still got to squeeze another lap out.
don't think so. 10 seconds to go, Richard. They're just turning into Brooklands, aren't they?
Yeah, so the pen was out early, and regular viewers of our BRSCC live streams know that the pen is the pen of death very often, or the pen of doom, and that was very nearly the case for Henry Jocelyn, who goes wide there. Just manages to chop back in front of Ethan Jeff Hall. Now, are we going to get a checker as they cross the line? The time is out. Yes, we do get the checker. Congratulations. Adam Al-Azhari takes the win in round 5 of the championship from Rowan Campbell pitting. Tommy Harfield in 3rd place. A rookie win, 4th overall for Thomas Behrman. And then second in the rookies is Xavier Avramides. And it's Henry Mercer that hangs on for the other podium. I've got to switch off because I've got to go and do podium duties.
Yep, Richard off to conduct the podium ceremonies then, but we'll run through the final results of that in a moment or two. Brilliant race, though, for Adam Al-Azhari. Really well managed from 3rd. He got that good start, didn't he? Got into 2nd place early and then made a nice, decisive move down at the club chicane. And from there, really just controlled the race. That was well executed. Ironically, he might not come out of that race with the most points scored because there were drivers further back who gained more positions than he did, and as we said, there are bonus points available for gaining positions throughout these reverse grid races, but either way, he gets a winner's trophy. That's going to be his priority. He'll be absolutely thrilled with that. We had a bit of chopping and changing on the final lap. Ethan Jeff Hall gained a position or two, and Chase Fernandez seems to have dropped down the order. Made a comment not long before the safety car came out that Ethan and Chase were nose to tail. Well, by the checkered flag, Ethan was 7th and Chase Fernandez was only 11th, so I think Chase had a bit of a story to tell on that restart. But good racing from the Formula 4 drivers. We get another Formula 4 bit of action a little bit later on today at 3:35 their final race, 3rd and final race of the weekend, the Wera Tools Formula 4 British Championship, certified by FIA. Championship-wise then, who were the winners and losers out of that? Well, as you'd expect, I suppose, from a partially reversed grid race, the drivers filling out the podium places were not necessarily filling out the podium places in the championship. Tommy Harfield, I guess, really the most significant one there, though. He's picked up a 3rd place finish, was 5th in the championship, provisionally anyway, coming into that race, and a non-finish yesterday as well, so Harfield bouncing back nicely from that, gets his first Silverstone points on the board to add to what was a fairly consistent win at Donington Park last time out. And in the rookies, of course, Thomas Behrman claims a class win with Finn McLaughlin, who's on your screen now, dropping right down the order. So as Richard quite rightly pointed out during the race, that's advantage Behrman in the Rookie Cup. It's also very, very close in the Teams Championship going into this race, as again we sort of alluded to earlier on. High-Tech, Argenti and Rodin all pretty evenly matched on pace, it seems, and High-Tech had a narrow 6-point lead over Argenti, but Rodin were only a further 28 points back, and it was a Rodin car that claimed the victory. So we'll let the TSL timekeepers calculate the points before race 3 later on, but it certainly is tightening up at the top. It's just what we like to see. It's a championship that will rumble on, of course, until the Brands Hatch Grand Prix finale in October. A long time to go before we crown a champion. But, as Richard said, no drop scores in this championship, so every race
ready when you are.
Is of real significance. From out of the car comes Adam Al-Azhari, and will we get a winner's pose? Yes, we do. He punches the air with delight, leaps down to the ground, and is greeted by the team. Rodin celebrating then a race victory here at Silverstone. They had a win from James Pazik, of course, who won yesterday, so it's been all Rodin really so far. And they have had a lot of silverware already that they'll take away with them from Silverstone. And handshakes all round for our podium finishers, not only the overall podium finishers, but the top 3 as well. Right, let's head down to the podium area and hear from Richard John Neal.
Adam Al-Azhari takes the win. Let's go and grab a quick word. Adam, I want to, congratulate you on that. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Really, really good. It's lovely for me meeting you guys at the media days and then making the connection for your first win. How does that feel and how did you get here?
Oh, it feels amazing. I can't thank the team enough. My first win in British F4. Yeah, I don't have any words. I mean, I'm just so happy. The team worked so hard. It's been going a little rough in round 1, but yeah, we're coming back strong.
Ironically, you know, you started a lot on the front with Joel Bergstrom and he caused the safety car. How did you feel having to do the safety car restart?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit stressful because I go in my zone. I go into a rhythm, good speed, and then, yeah, I saw the safety car. I'm like, oh, man. No, but hopefully he's okay. So, yeah.
Rodin looking very strong this year, aren't they? Because not only were they the first team yesterday to get 2 wins, they've got 2 different winners now too.
Yeah, no, the team is really good. Can't thank them enough.
Well done, Adam. Congratulations on that first win. Here's to the first of many. Let's go and grab a quick word with Rowan Campbell-Pilling, who's in P2. Sorry, Martin. Let's just move over. And Rowan, this has been a long time coming, but a pleasure for me to interview you on the podium. Many congratulations.
No, thank you. It was a tough race. Dirty air was really hard around here, so no, I think we did the best we could have done. The safety car restart wasn't great on my behalf, put me under a little bit of pressure from behind, but other than that, no, solid race.
To be fair, when you're in that situation, you're all under pressure. Adam is under pressure as leader to get away from you. You're under pressure to try and chase Adam, but also look behind you because you've got Tommy there as well.
I mean, it was so hard to, A, catch, but as well for him to drop me. The toe was massive, but then through the middle sector, the dirty air was just huge. So we sort of maintained the same sort of gap throughout the whole race, which was frustrating on my part, but I'm sure he didn't mind it.
But you got the podium, so that's great. Good points in the bag.
Precisely, yeah.
Nice one. Very well done, Rowan. We'll catch up with you a little bit later on. Tommy Harfield gets P3, so let's go and have a quick word with Tommy, who's come over. Well done, Tommy. Congratulations. Outright podium's obviously what you guys are after, but how good was it, first of all, for Chris Stittman Racing to be leading the championship as we came here through your efforts?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, the car's been great all year. I'm loving the team. Yeah, this race is good. We've been struggling through practice, so very happy to get another podium.
It's lovely to have F4 with us on a BRSCC meeting. You're all really, really welcome. But it's quite poignant for us. Obviously, you raced in Fiesta Juniors last year. So tell us about that leap, making it up into the world of FIA single-seaters.
Yeah, it's obviously very different. Much faster cars, but there are some similarities that I think have helped me. And it seems like all the other Fiesta boys jump well into this. So, yeah, it's been good.
And now we've got one more race to go. Where are you off in the third race?
P8. Yeah, so not too far away. Hopefully make some positions at the start, and yeah, pace has been good. But yeah, it's been hard to follow in dirty air. So
what was the problem yesterday? Because it was a non-classified yesterday, just briefly.
Yeah, I made contact with Campbell-Pilling in the Margaret Beckett's. It was an unlucky situation, but yeah.
Anyway, back out today. That's good stuff. Tommy, well done. Thanks for chatting to us. Let's see if we can find the winner of the rookie category, Thomas Spearman. He was over there being weighed a minute ago, and in fact, he's back over there at the moment. He's chatting to his dad, so we'll go over. We've got an official podium to do as well at some stage. So Thomas Spearman, then we'll grab Xavier as well a little bit later on. I think Jeremy's point. Thomas, can we grab a quick? Well done. Congratulations, rookie win.
Yeah, it was a good race. 6th to 4th, so that was pretty decent. A bit unfortunate to have contact with my teammate. Obviously, that's not the goal, but yeah. But overall, good race and good positions gained and good points scored.
Have you spoken to him yet, by the way?
No, I don't think he'll be very happy, but.
These things happen in racing, and it's how you deal with them, about how you move forward, isn't it? So, and I guess you've got to go back, look at footage and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Well done on the win. It's lovely to see you on the top step of the rookies.
Thank you.
Let's see if we can find Xavier Avramidis, who took second position. So, have we got Xavier, or should we go upstairs now? Xavier is over here, so let's go and grab a quick. Need to grab a quick word with Xavier. Let's grab a quick word. P2 in the rookie, Xavier. Sorry, I was looking for you. The back turned to me. Yeah, not a bad result. I know you're looking for overalls, but getting a step on the podium is not a bad way to start the day here.
Yeah, I mean, the initial start was good, and I got away good, but on the first lap I got caught in an incident and lost a few positions from that. Their pace felt pretty good throughout the race. I made a small mistake on one of the laps which cost me a few positions, but yeah, in the end we walk away with a rookie trophy, which is not too bad, but obviously I was looking for a bit of a better result.
What do you think you can do, or changes to the car for race 3?
to be honest, the car felt pretty good, the pace felt pretty good, but we'll have a look at the data. We'll see what there is to improve on. But, yeah, obviously I'll push to get a better result next time.
Nice one, Xavier. Well done, gone on the podium. We'll see you on the podium a little bit later on. Henry Mercier is next up as well. I'm being followed around, sorry Colin, being followed around to try and get the drivers up onto the podium. Henry, can we grab a quick word? I apologised on air. I got your team wrong yesterday. I said Forte, but congratulations on another podium, which is great to see.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a bit tougher than yesterday. Less people DNF'd, so had to work a bit more for the positions, but start really wasn't that good. I spun wheels quite a bit, and then that safety car closed Finn and Cole right up to my back, so there was definitely some pressure. But if I remember, there was only one racing lap, but so I managed to hold it, and yeah, here we are.
Well done, that's good. Hopefully we'll repeat that for race 3 a little bit later on. Nice. Henry Mercier, who takes 3rd position in the rookies. Now, stream-wise, we've got Caterham's on track, so we're going to hand back to Andy, who's going to give you the grid for that. I've got a little bit more duty to do here off-stream, which is to host the podium up on the Formula 1 podium upstairs. So we'll do that, but in the meantime, hand you on the stream back to Andy McEwen in the comms box.
Thank you, Richard. Yes, good stuff. Tracking down all of our Formula 4 drivers down there in the pit lane. As I said, we'll have them back out on track a little bit later on in the afternoon. For now, though, we turn our attention to Caterham's. Now, if you thought that race was lively, you ain't seen nothing yet. We have got getting on for 60 Caterhams lining up on the grid, which has at least given Richard plenty of time to conduct those podium interviews, because this is not, as you can imagine, the work of a moment. 2 classes of car, which we'll get into a little bit later on, but a packed grid of Caterhams. This is a fantastic sight and a great circuit for Caterham racing. Those of you who have seen Caterhams before will know that the slipstream is all-powerful. Side by side, 3 abreast, 4 abreast racing is not uncommon, and here at Silverstone on the Grand Prix circuit, they've got all of the space in the world to conduct some of that brilliant wheel-to-wheel racing for which they are world renowned. So we're expecting this to be a very entertaining race indeed. It's the